Andrew Tate speaks out against the Matrix. So don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. I miss your boy Marvin. So I'm going to start the video and we'll kick off. Andrew Tate speaks out after being arrested.
Conversation. I was going to put a suit on and do this formally, but I think it's better if I do this informally. Highlighting some of the things that everybody already knows about how the Matrix operates and what they're trying to do to me and what I believe is going to happen next. It's quite interesting that they are attacking me and attempting to vilify me at the exact same time, whereas real predators, which work for the media establishment, are being ousted. So it's really interesting to do a juxtaposition and do a comparison, right, between how they will treat Phillip Schofield, who is confirmed as a groomer, who is admitting he has committed sexual crimes, and how they'll treat me, a man with no convictions and no admission of sexual crimes. Look at the differences in the headlines. Look at how soft they are in their interviews with him.
You've had quite the week. How are you?
Look at how now, after only 2 or 3 days, the headlines are saying we should forgive him and feel sorry for him and let him off. Whereas me, who's been under constant media assault for over a year, they never let up. They never change. Someone sent me a clip yesterday of Phillip Schofield saying he's going to kill himself and how sad he is.
Last week, if my daughters hadn't been there, then I wouldn't be here.
Why do they keep pushing me? Why do they keep pushing me, playing the sympathy card? And all the headlines are now like, yeah, we can't.
I understand what he's actually saying there about Phillip Schofield, that he should be treated the same if they were both convicted for what they've done. I know, to be honest, I don't really fully know the Phillip Schofield. I've heard things at the end of the day, but in comparison, they should be treated the same and not one soft and one hard. I completely agree with that.
Can't keep attacking this poor man. For 1 year they've attacked me, and they will not stop. And this highlights the difference between the people who are on the side of the establishment and the people who are not on the side of the establishment. I've been offered to sell my soul very many times. I want everyone at home to understand, you do not become the most Googled man on earth, especially amongst a demographic of young men which have money to spend, without very large companies and corporations becoming extremely interested in you. I've been offered $50 to $60 million by companies I'm not going to name. All I had to do was shut up. Shut up, take the money, wear the stupid hat, wave around the stupid drink, whatever it is, and continue to agree with whatever the Matrix says, regardless of my own personal feelings, my personal views and beliefs, and just push it on the minds of young children. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to sell my soul. If I would have sold my soul to a large corporation, and then this attack happened, which I very much doubt this level of Matrix attack would have even happened to me, but if it did, then this large corporation would speak to the media, and the media would be treating me like they treat Phillip Schofield. They wouldn't be treating me as an enemy. They would treat me as an ally. All I had to do was sell my...
Very true. He's got a lot of money. He has a lot of fame. It's incredible how they keep technically feeding him into the lions. And nothing at this present moment is proven guilty. I mean, I think he's made a lot of enemies through talking, especially when you're famous. He's the most Googled man, but I do think in my way of thinking, not Henry's way of thinking, my way of thinking. Sometimes I think you've got to go through a spell of just being quiet. And like I said, I respect the guy. He ain't going to do that at the end of the day. He's going to keep speaking out, and he's not going to sell his soul or sell himself to the devil. I don't blame him, because he's educating people and giving them messages that he's not supposed to, that the government don't really want you to know, or get richer generally people, have got a working life, have to work 40, 50 years before they even buy their house, or before they can even relax and put their feet up. It's not an easy world we actually live in, and Andrew Tate is giving us something, uh, uh, positivity into being a man or a woman in business and really getting yourself out there and doing more. And sometimes people need a good kick up the arse, to be honest with you, especially in business.
My soul, and I refused. The recent BBC interview that took place, I don't think most people understand genuinely how snaky that interview was. The reason I had to destroy her so ruthlessly is because of how the interview was set up. When I was in jail, the BBC was constantly trying to get me to give an interview over the phone, and I refused. When I left jail, the BBC begged me for an interview, daily, begging me. And for 3 months, I refused. Eventually, once I understood, after my 3rd month of house arrest, what the Romanian government is going to do to me, which we're going to discuss shortly, I thought now would be a good time to give an interview. BBC begged me, saying that Romania has one of the most corrupt justice systems in Europe, that there's serious problems with the case, lots of evidence that's been leaked shows Andrew's innocent, that Andrew's side of the story hasn't been heard, that we're interested in fair and unbiased journalism, that we don't want to come there and do a hit piece, we want to speak to him and try and find out the truth of what's happening. In fact, we're going to send you the questions we want to ask in advance. I'm not a coward. I never ask for questions in advance. I don't care, because I'm a professional and I will destroy anyone instantly. But they sent us a list of questions, which was shown to me, and I was like, well, those are actually interesting questions. What's my mental health like? What's Romanian jail like? What's it like being in a courtroom where everyone's speaking a language you don't understand and having your liberty deprived of you? I thought this is going to be an interesting interview. I agree. The BBC, all nice smiles and all lies, sent us this entire spiel, turned up, turned the cameras on, sat down, and attacked me.
Have you ever put any and applied any psychological control on any of the women you dated? Or
No, and I respect women.
What they say and what they do, the tabloid is completely different things. Soon as they sat down, the BBC attacked him. They knew what they were going in there for. It was extremely out of order. I was surprised, and many people were surprised, by Andrew Tate talking to the BBC. And I think what they want to do is find stuff on him so that they could actually use that against him. But the woman who was interviewed wasn't clever enough to exploit him in any way, even though he hasn't been convicted of anything. And even when he went back to court, the BBC were there again trying to talk to him after trying to humiliate him in his own home. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. What a world we live in, eh?
This idea that a man, that I'm so much smarter that I can hypnotize somebody, I think is extremely misogynistic idea. I think your idea is misogynistic to believe that women don't have their own free thoughts and free minds.
Are you based in the UK and struggling with debt? Do you have outstanding debts exceeding £7,000?
They attempted to sucker punch me. They attempted to shake my hand and knock me out with a sucker punch once the cameras were on, to hit me when I was off guard. They expected me to be off guard, ready to talk about my mental health, and hit me with these questions and me make a fool of myself, unaware that I'm a master of Aikido. And when you attempt to sucker punch me, it simply misses, and I destroy you.
I think we're done. Yep.
Unmatched perspicacity. Just because I'm the best there's ever been, and me, with my quick thinking and nearly incomparable wit, can sit and destroy a professional reporter and her entire research team's preparation, just because I make that look easy, doesn't mean I should be forced to succumb to these unfortunate circumstances. 99% of the population, if they were tricked the way I was tricked, would look a fool on camera. They were very prepared to try and make a fool of me. But I'm the best there's ever been. Did they do this to Phillip Schofield? No. Where was the BBC's outrage when Rolf Harris or Jimmy Savile were touching children? They don't care. Where's the BBC's outrage when certain other people, high level in society, members of the royal family, are caught having pictures with minors? They don't care. But they will continue to try and convince you that I am something I am not on repeat over and over and over again. These people are worse than disingenuous. They are worse than simply liars. They are evil. They are a club. And if you sell your soul and join the club, they offer you protection. And if you don't, they aim to destroy you, which is what they're trying to do to me. The reason I decided to give the interview...
Very, very, very heavy words, what he was actually saying. But obviously, Rolf Harris, a lot of those people worked for the BBC and were protected. There was a lot of things going on under the cover and hush hush at the end of the day. So I don't think the BBC can actually talk out of place. They do about Andrew Tate, because like I said, he hasn't been convicted yet. But if he's convicted, I'll stand by my words. At the end of the day, I will not subscribe to anything he has to say. But like I said, he's got to be proven guilty at first. Phillip Schofield, another one which is played down. You know, if they've played it down that low, I've not really looked at it at the end of the day. But like I said, he's willing to be a part of the system and work along with the Yes Gang. And that's fair enough at the end of the day. But I truly believe that there is a attack on Andrew Tate because of the way he speaks up, and he's blatant. And these days, you have to be very, very careful what you say and who you expose.
To the BBC is because I now believe that the next step, and I'm going to call it, because I've called everything that's happened to me so far. Look at my old interviews. I said, stage 2, they're going to try and put me in jail. I understand that you get 3 strikes in this game. Strike 1 is they try and shut you up and discredit you, which I've just been through. Strike 2 is they try and put you in jail for no reason. And strike 3 is they kill you. The truth is this. So I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. I mean, I'd never kill myself. Don't fucking try. But, bruv, because that's what's next. That's what's next. It's scary. I'm telling you, everyone thinks I'm paranoid. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. So it's like every single organization on the face of the planet is corrupt. This is what I say to people. I say, listen, and I'm going to say this on this podcast now because I say it in every other one. I would never, ever kill myself. I truly believe they're going to come and they're going to try and kill me on a long enough time frame because they tried to shut me up and I won't shut up. They're either going to try and put me in jail or they're going to kill me. And I would never kill myself under any circumstances ever. And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, but what can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. And it doesn't matter what you do about it, you will pay the fucking price. It's not fair. None of it is. Every single system's corrupt. It actually annoys me when people say that to me. Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent. Yes, they fucking can. And that's what people don't understand about the world. They can and they do and they fucking will. And that's what's scary.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there are, highly, people in power that can do anything in this world. Andrew Tate is basically just a speck compared to the people that power this earth. And if you don't basically play the Matrix game and live in the system of the Matrix, and like you said, live by the rules, you'll be okay. But if you don't live by the rules, you're going to get a lot of trouble coming your way, and they'll get you one way or another. And like you said, it is scary, and it's true, and it's happening.
I'm going to call what's going to happen next. The Matrix is extremely angry. And they are angry because their weapons aren't working. I remain unfazed. This is the first time in history someone who was cancelled became more popular than before. This is the first time in history where a full broadside of media lies for over a year across every single outlet that they control has failed. Nobody believes them. Nobody. So now what do they do? Well, I believe the UK is going to try and raise charges against me. Don't know what for. I've done nothing wrong. Something's going to appear from nowhere. In fact, I will say that I have some very high-level friends and some whistleblowers who are confirming exactly that to me. That they've looked at me and thought, we have to get this guy. What's he done? Nothing. Find something. Who cares? Get some papers, move some papers around, get a judge who'll stamp them, and put him in jail. It doesn't matter that I've done nothing wrong. I also want to say that I believe the Romanian government is going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because they have any evidence, and they're not going to charge me because I'm guilty of anything. They're going to charge me because after a 14-month investigation, 6 months of arrest, which is the maximum they can possibly give me without charge, I don't think they can just drop this. Imagine they just drop this tomorrow. Oh, we made it all up. Imagine that. What choice do they have but to charge me? If they charge me, I have to go to trial.
I think the Romanian government have put him in put themselves in a position where they've acted reckless. It's going to be embarrassing for them. I mean, I don't know what, like I said, the UK government has on him, or like you said, he's got whistleblowers thinking that they're going to come up with something. But I did hear that the US and UK want to talk to him about a few things. So there are things in the pipeline that could come out against his name to discriminate him. So, like I said, I think he's prepared for it. I think he's that deep in now. It's imminent that something is going to happen, and that he may have to go to prison for a few years just to shut him up. This is what I'm seeing, because it cooled down for ages, and bang, it's flared back up again. They don't want to let this go.
Now, of course, I still believe in Romanian justice. I really, truly believe that even with Romanian justice systems or matrix-controlled justice systems, I will be found innocent. Because I know the case file, I know what's in it. But that's going to take years. They're going to waste 1.5 to 2 years of my life, make me go to trial. Then when I'm found not guilty, it's been years. Who cares, right? Distance from event. If they drop it now, it's the biggest story in the world. They can't drop it. They're going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because I've done anything wrong. They're going to charge me because that's how the Matrix works. Unfortunately, I'm up against an enemy which I can't really, truly beat. I can't beat them. All I can do is continue to discredit them to the point where nobody believes them anymore. And I cannot do that without having perspicacious, intelligent people at home who are analyzing the situation and truly understand what is happening to me. If I have to martyr myself, if I have to some degree sacrifice my liberty and the quality of my life to highlight how the Matrix operates, how the legal system and the media work hand in hand to try and convince the populace somebody is guilty before a judge says they are guilty because they have pre-decided to say this person is guilty because of his wrong think.
This is deep. Yeah, he's going seriously deep now into basically his sanity, his life, what he's built, what it means to him, and what they're going to take away from it. I have to admit, I've been watching a lot of his videos lately, and I think he's got to be very, very careful in basically what he says at the end of the day, or he's going to be taken out like many people who've spoken out. It's just as simple as that. That's just the life, the evil world we actually live in, and it's a serious organisation, especially when you go up the ladder.
I have to sacrifice myself to do those things, then I guess at least my imprisonment is a noble one. And I'm a man. And although Romanian jail is as close to hell as you can find on planet Earth, if I have to suffer it, I will do that, because I will not sell my soul. The point of this video is only to highlight and make clear the differences in how the people inside of the club are treated against versus the people who are outside of the club. And also for me to predict the future for everyone to understand. When new charges come, when new countries attempt to attack me, when the Matrix unrelentingly continues to print lies about me and try to convince the world that I am a bad person, I hope it does nothing else but show the world that I am a good person. These people are liars. The people they tell you are good are not good. The people they tell you are bad are the good ones. Do not believe a word that they say. All in all, my predictions to the future are not certain. My future is certainly not certain. Whether I'll continue to breathe or continue to be free, nobody knows. But the one thing I can guarantee to absolutely everybody at home, and anybody who believes in me and my message, and anybody who listens to me speak, I will never sell my soul, I will never be controlled, and I will never lie.
Very, very deep by Andrew Tate. It seems like to me that was like a defiant message to the world, to the Matrix, that he is not going to give up and he's going to fight to the end. But I do think sometimes things take its toll. It is systematic. You can only fight so much against worldly things and powers, and he's got to be very, very careful in the next few months or even years, should I say, because you cannot keep dominating the internet as much as he did and speaking so much the way he does. I'm not against it, because I think the majority of the stuff he says is absolutely correct. I know he has said one or two silly things about women which I didn't believe in, and I just think sometimes it was stupidity. But about business and carry yourself, I think he's 100% correct in what he says. But obviously the establishment don't like that, what he's actually doing and what he actually stands for, because I think a lot of people are listening to it and tapping into what he's saying, which sometimes does make sense. But like I said, we're all human beings and we have to make our own minds up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Streamline Entertainment, and like the video. And thanks again for listening in, and I'll catch you tomorrow.